Welcome to Hotline TV, everybody. I'm John Mercurio.
And I'm Amy Walter. We've got policy differences. We got reconciliation procedure. We got filibusters.
Goosebumps.
So many variables
Goosebumps,
in this
goosebumps.
healthcare debate. But here at the Hotline, of course, we are interested in the races.
Yeah.
And more important, we're interested in where recent developments may be changing the math when it comes to votes for a healthcare bill.
Very interesting topic, Amy Walter. Let's go into the very first race. A big one developed this week. Lieutenant Governor in Arkansas, Bill Halter, a Democrat,
Indeed.
has decided to challenge Senator Blanche Lincoln, also a Democrat.
So that's called a primary?
In the May primary. Let's talk about what impact that could have. Of course, Blanche Lincoln was probably one of the latest moderate holdouts in the Democratic caucus on health care. She ultimately supported it. She demanded that they strip the public option out. That's a big part of why Bill Halter and liberal Democrats are upset with her right now. What do you think, Amy, Halter's decision to run does to her willingness to vote for reconciliation?
Right. Well, here's the thing. If I'm Blanche Lincoln and I already voted for this bill,
Right, exactly.
there is nothing you can do to change that fact. So she could vote against reconciliation. She can vote against anything that comes in front of her. But the ad that you well know will run this November will be Blanche Lincoln supported health care.
And is she the first incumbent senator that I can think of right now who is drawing a primary challenger for opposing an issue that she actually supported?
Right. She ended up supporting the bill. It's one thing to say, all right, fine. We're going to challenge Ben.
Joe Lieberman opposed the Drew Ned Lamont because he supported the Iraq War. That was a vote he took in 2002.
It's a pretty clean line.
Right. This is a different line. But no, I think ultimately, we're agreeing she supports reconciliation because she could. She already voted for this bill.
Now listen, even if she doesn't, I don't know that helps Bill Halter all that much, because he still has to figure out a way to make a case to Democratic primary voters that she's not a good vote on a whole bunch of other things.
He also has a very short window. He waited a long time to get into this race. He's only got less than 3 months, 2.5 months until the primary. He needs to raise a lot of money. He's got unions on his side, but we'll see how he does.
Well, actually, I'm going to amend what I just said.
Okay.
I just realized I said it incorrectly. He actually could benefit from her voting against reconciliation because then he could start to check those things. Right.
Okay.
But even so, I do not think he is the better candidate in the general election. Okay.
In nearby Texas, they share a little bit of a border. Kay Bailey Hutchison, competing in the Texas gubernatorial primary, has said even before the election on Tuesday that she plans to stick around in Washington to help fight the government takeover of health care. Obviously, her vote important in the Senate, a vote opposed to the Democratic health care plans. If she resigns her seat because of this Texas governor's race, what does that do to the race, to the vote for health care?
Well, probably nothing. Although it's pretty clear that that didn't work out so well for her. That message in the gubernatorial race.
Right.
Remember, I'm from Washington, and I'm doing great stuff up there.
What if she wins
not
today?
stopping.
What if she wins today? We don't know. We're taping on Tuesday.
That's true. We don't know if
she
she ends up winning, but we do know that she said she will, she will resign her seat. It looks pretty clear that it will be timed to give the most benefit to her ability to have a final vote on health care.
Well, and it's all rhetoric because we all know that as soon as she were to resign, Governor Rick
Perry
will appoint a
Republican.
conservative Republican who will also oppose health care reform. It's a campaign talking point.
Done and done. Okay.
All right, an interesting race developing in Indiana, the Indiana Senate race. Evan Bayh retiring. Brad Ellsworth looking more and more likely now to be the Democratic nominee. He voted yes in the House back in November for the health care bill, which was very controversial. A lot of moderate Democrats, 39 Democrats, opposed it. Ellsworth starting to sort of sing a little bit of a new tune these days now that he's running a statewide campaign.
Right, and I go back to the point I made about Blanche Lincoln, which is he supported a House bill which was more liberal, right? So even if he says, well, I'm voting against this bill because I don't agree with the way it's been handled, the process looks bad, he will ultimately have supported a public option.
Exactly.
Which is exactly what they're going to hit him on there. So I think if you're Brad Ellsworth, all you want to do is get this vote done, over with, and be able to get back into campaigning and talking about stuff you want to talk about, not reconciliation.
And he's giving the indications that he does plan to do that. I mean,
Yeah.
he's remaining. He won't have to. He's remaining open to reconciliation, and we're
Right.
seeing a lot of things about that. All right, topic number 4: a couple of House vacancies recently. Nathan Deal, congressman from Georgia, Republican, announced recently that he's going to resign next week to focus on his race for governor. That will bring and of course there's a special election in Florida that will be filled when? What day?
I think the 13th, is that right?
Of March?
Yeah, April.
Of April?
April,
All right.
March.
We are House
We're on top of it.
special election experts. That will change the calculus. Deal resigning and Democrats, basically Deal losing one House seat for Republicans and Democrats gaining a seat in South Florida.
Right, but it's still the number we're looking at, whether it's 216 or 217. We keep coming back to the fact that every day it seems there may be an opening for one person who was a no vote to say yes this time around, and yet at the same time now we're hearing that there are yes votes who are thinking about voting no.
Right.
What seems pretty clear is there was an assumption early on that anybody who's retiring this time around
Right.
can cast this vote without any fear of retribution, right? They have no
That's-
re-election. But already we're seeing John Boehner doesn't look like he wants to vote for this bill.
Brian
I
Baird
don't-
also doesn't look like he wants to
Yeah,
support this
and
bill.
Bart Gordon, I haven't heard any of those guys come out and say, you know what? I mean, right, because what are they going to say? You know what, you're right, I voted against it on pure political reasons last time. I agreed with the policy, but I was worried about my re-election.
Well, they did change positions. All three of those, I think, changed positions on raising the debt limit a couple of days after each of them announced their resignation, their retirement.
Well, so maybe there we go. All right, maybe they will.
Maybe they will. We'll have to wait and see.
All right, last words
Yes. Last words. Last words
from us. All right,
from us.
John Mercurio.
Yes, ma'am.
Percentage chance
Yes, ma'am.
that there will be
Yes.
a vote in the House and the Senate and a bill will be signed by the President of the United States of America that will have the words healthcare in it.
Oh, well, will there be a vote? I think it's about a 90% chance.
Oh, so you think there could be a vote and it could fail? Would they really bring a vote up that would fail?
That's an excellent point. That's probably a tactical move they're probably not ready to make. Is it going to pass? I'd rather just talk about the vote because I really feel like Democrats right now are in such a position where they are forced to at least take a vote on this. I'm going to say they're going to take a vote and potentially fall on their swords.
Meaning
say
they
it.
could lose the vote.
They could lose the vote.
Okay. I think that there is still just a 50-50 chance that we're going to have a vote on this.
Interesting. That they even hold a vote.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
I'm not going to put it at 90. I'm going to amend my statements. I'm going to put it at 75%.
All right,
I still
good.
think it's likely. I still think it passes. I think the question becomes not so much whether the vote takes place, not so much how many numbers they have, but what the bill itself looks like. I think that once you get, you're going to lose people like Bart Stupak if you don't have this restrictive abortion language. But I think ultimately the question becomes what the bill looks like. And Nancy Pelosi's already acknowledged that the bill is going to be significantly smaller than the House vote, the House bill last November. That's a lot of talk.
that is a lot of talk. I'm exhausted.
I am too. All right, we're just about out of time for today.
Until next time, we'll see you on Hotline TV.